Hello everyone, I'm Vincent Noel. I'm a postdoc at Institut Curie, and I'm going to present you FysiBus-COVID, the Boolean modeling of COVID-19 signaling pathways inside a multicellular simulation framework. So what we want to do here is build a multiscale model of COVID infection. To do that, we're going to use PhysiCell formalism with its FysiBus add-on. We will start from an existing model, which is coming from the PhysiCell creators, and we'll add a mechanistic Boolean models produced by the DiseaseMap community. So PhysiCell is an agent-based modeling framework where cells are represented as agents which can proliferate, migrate, and interact with other cells. There is also a notion of environment where we can have proteins or molecules diffusing around the cells. And PhysiBus adds a new layer with intracellular network where each cell can run its own Boolean network, which will be, for example, able to decide between survival and apoptosis of a cell. So the structure of a model will be that first, the virus is a substrate which is diffusing in the environment. The epithelial cells will be organized as a tissue. We will also have an immune system interacting with virus or infected cells. And each cell type in our model will be running a specific Boolean models. So for that, we need these cell type specific Boolean models. We also need intercellular or high-level model, which describe how the different cell types interact with each other. And we also need to fit a lot of parameters. So the model we'll start from has been developed by the SARS-CoV-2 Tissue Modeling Coalition, which is led by Paul MacLean. The structure is the following, where first you have a virus outside the cell. It will be able to enter the cell and start replicating to produce more extracellular virus. At some point, this virus will trigger apoptosis, which will trigger some immune signaling in the form of chemokines, which will activate macrophages around the cells. These macrophages, once activated, will release cytokines, which will recruit and activate CD8 T cells. Once these CD8 T cells will bind to the infected cells, they will be able to trigger apoptosis. So what we want to do here is replace this apoptosis phenotype by a detailed description of the apoptosis. So the model we choose to represent apoptosis has been developed by the COVID-19 DiseaseMap project and is able to describe the effects on the virus inside the cell, but also the effect of virus receptors, such as FAS or TNF. So once we have this map, we can use CASC to generate a Boolean model that we can then connect to the PhysiCell variables. Then we also choose to modify the direct activation of apoptosis by the viral protein, since in this way we wouldn't be able to interact with it. Then we also added nodes and connections to capture the different phenotype of apoptosis, type 1, type 2, but this is still work in progress and details need to be further characterized. And finally, we studied 148 mutants to find the best apoptosis escaping mutations under two conditions. Either the apoptosis is triggered by the viral infection or by the T cells. So this is what the simulations looks like. At first, we have this blue tissue of healthy cells and these green macrophages hanging around. And at some point, we'll start to see some shades in some of the cells, which will describe that these are infected by the virus. Once one of these cells will die, it will release chemokines, which will attract macrophages and activate them, turning them purple. Then these macrophages will start phagocytating the cells and attracting neutrophils, which will eat the virus around the cells, and CD8 T cells, which are the small red one, which will actually kill the cells. So the mutants we wanted to try to inactivate apoptosis are first the FAD knockout, which will prevent the activation of the FAS receptors. And on the wild type, you can see the red part, which are the cells which are being killed by CD8 T cells. And you can see that in the knockout, we don't have any more this population, even though we have similar response overall. The other mutant we wanted to try is the inhibition of the M protein of a virus. If we succeed 100% inhibition, actually, we completely block the activation of the immune system. So here we choose to try some partial inhibition. At first 50%, then 80%, and finally 95% of the cells showing this inhibition of the M protein. And as you can see, the effect of this increasing inhibition is to add more delay to this immune system activation. This model will keep growing and will be used as a use case in PerMedCo, which is a personalized medicine center of excellence, whose goal is to upscale cell-level simulation to HPC and exascale. And here are the address if you want to visit the site. So as future work, we want to develop these cell type specific Boolean models, especially the one for immune cells which are still lacking. We also need to add immune cells differentiation and clonal expansion. We need to tune better the transition rate parameters, which is the activation and deactivation of the different compounds of our intracellular models. And if you want to test the model by yourself, please, you can go to the GitHub or NanoHub page, where you will have a Jupyter notebook that you can run, where you can tweak the parameters and simulate the modification. Thank you for your attention.